Dreary and wet conditions here at White House Field, but the Mariners hope that doesn't rain on their parade. A 5-game winning streak for Harwich as we come into the day before the day off, you can say. The Mariners and the Red Sox getting set for opening pitch at 5:30. We welcome you here into Harwich alongside Devin Dobick. I'm Gino Antamarino. Now, Dev, the Mariners, they made it 5-game winning streak yesterday against the Brewster Whitecaps, a game that was back and forth, but the Mariners ultimately winning in a shootout.
It's really refreshing to see, Gino, because, my last 3 seasons, it was either one way or the other. You couldn't have it all. As far as finding ways to win those close games, it would just be from the get-go. You'd kind of have an idea of what was going on. But back-to-back one-run wins, and prior to that, 2 blowout wins, this team has found every way in the book to get wins. And I think a lot of that is credit to Steve Engler and who he's been able to keep on the pitching staff among the top of the league ranks in that regard. And the hitting has been there. The offense has been incredible. The depth in the lineup is something like we've never seen. Going from 3 All-Stars last year to now 7, and a lot of those guys, with the exception of Trey Broussard and a couple others, have stuck around. So the core is in a good place to make this postseason push.
Devin, I want to say, welcome back to put on the headset here for the Mariners. You were with the team for the last couple of years, but your experience with the team last year in a little bit of a different spot this year compared to last year, where the Mariners going into the postseason was more of the underdog trying to punch up. This year, they're more of the top dog punching down. How does that change the way this team handles day-to-day business, or what have you seen that's different from this year compared to last year?
I'm not sure it's necessarily a change per se. Steve Engler always has his guys ready to go for postseason time. They always seem to find a way in, whether it's as the 4 seed or the 1 seed. Obviously, you'd much rather like to be the 1 seed, but in a league that's been so competitive this year, first to last place in the East Division is only separated by 4 games. So who knows? We could be sitting here in a week, and the Chatham Anglers could be the number 1 seed in the East and going to the playoffs, and the Mariners could be out. And I think that element of it and the way the team's playing right now, it really seems like they're in cruise control. A league-high 5-game win streak. Seems like things are trending in the right direction as we go to the postseason.
Well, that's good to hear for the Mariners' sake. Just always trying to keep up that momentum because, like you just said, you got teams right behind them. They can't be satisfied. And who had a similar response to that? Another returner from last year, Aiden Robbins. I got to caught up with him before the game. This is what he had to say.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
We welcome you back here to White House Field. We are getting set for opening pitch between your Harwich Mariners and the Y-D Red Sox. Alongside Devin Dobick, I'm Gino Antamarino. Steve Englert, in his 21st season as the manager for Harwich, he gets set to face off against Scott Pickler in his 27th season as the skipper for the Red Sox. Let's take a look at Pickler's lineup right here. Leading things off, A.J. Nessler, the left fielder, followed by Jack Archimone, the designated hitter. Chris Akopian, the first baseman, batting third. 4, 5, and 6, Armando Briseño, the shortstop. Will Baker batting fifth, the second baseman. Jace Tarnish, the center fielder. And then rounding out the order with 7, 8, and 9, it's Nick Costello, the right fielder, Garrett Wright catching, and Jack Bell, the third baseman. Obviously, someone to keep an eye out for is Chris Akopian, one of the leader on this team's in all the offensive categories, leader in hits, batting average, and RBIs, and he can also put some oomph on his bat. He's got a lot of extra bases this summer with 8.
Yeah, he's incredible to watch. Just named the Franklin Player of the Week in the Cape Cod Baseball League, and Hakopian on his way out of Maryland to Texas A&M. Just a guy so well-rounded. He can plug and play different places in the infield. He hits for average. He gives them the timely hits. As you mentioned, Gino leads in a lot of offensive categories. The RBIs with 15 as well is something that he's provided. That's what I talked about with the timely hitting. So I'm really excited to see Chris come to Harwich, and these two proximate rivals always know how to put on a show this season.
Well, that man right there, Troy Dressler, trying to silence the Red Sox leader in offense. That's Troy Dressler, the rising sophomore, 6'3", 215 pounds, from Wake Forest. This past year with the Demon Deacons, made just one appearance as a freshman, but he's someone that Steve Englert has really leaned on this summer, making his 5th start, his 6th appearance. He's posted a 2.95 ERA through 21 and a third innings. Something to keep an eye out for, the strikeout numbers. He's got 19 this summer. That's second most on the team behind Matt Heiberger, who's got 22. So Dressler's going to be pounding the strike zone. The Y-D hitter's got to be ready to go. And now without further ado, let's take a look at the Mariners' defense. Starting in the outfield, moving from left to right, there it is on your screen. Aiden Robinson left, Nico Brini at center, and Jake Coonan in right. We move to the infield, Maddox Maloney at third, Tanner Marsh at short, Sam DiCarlo at second, and Sam Harris at first. Catching is Trey Wells. You can see the designated hitter today for the Mariners is the Kansas State product, D. Kennedy. A.J. Nessler digs in from the left side. Righty on lefty to start things out here in Harwich. Dressler works fast. First pitch. Misses high. The first offering coming in at 532, 91 miles per hour from Dressler with the high heat. 73 degrees with a slight drizzle. So we are underway. The 1-0 is popped the other way and out of play.
Got to take the opportunity to say Dressler v. Nessler to start this game. Got the righty on lefty, but Dressler on Nessler. I mean, we got a nice little matchup, a little bit of a rhyme going on here to start the top of the first.
I love it. Here's the 1-1. This is high. Mariners come into this one after squeaking out a win against Brewster yesterday, a 9-8 victory, a shootout for Harwich. The first time they have been on the right side of that this summer, you can say. The 2-1 bops it straight back. Dressler is dealing heat, 95 miles per hour. But the Mariners yesterday went down 5-1 in the early stages of the game, but then slowly but surely came back. Now 5 straight wins. There's a 2-2. He strikes him out. Dressler puts away Nessler. And there's one away in the top of the first.
Yeah, just a beautiful pitch. He found ways to expand the zone, and credit to Nessler, found a way to fight off a few pitches and extend the at-bat. But in the end, a beautiful off-speed pitch in the bottom part of the zone and got him right over the top of it. Really nice start for Dressler here. 1 up, 1 down.
It was a nice put-away pitch, too, when you have the fastballs and then you pair that with an off-speed. Keeps the batters on their heels. Here's Jack Arcamo. First time he has faced off against Harwich this summer. Takes a first pitch outside. The middle part of the infield for the Mariners playing back. Tanner Marsh at short with his heels on the outfield grass. You can see him on the bottom left corner of your screen. Marsh didn't start in yesterday's game. Pinch ran for Bristol Carter in the 7th. Here's the 2-0. This is low. 3 straight balls from Troy Dressler after earning the strikeout. But the Mariners, going back to that game yesterday against the Whitecaps, proving they can win in just about any fashion. As there's the strike right there. Fastball down the middle.
The strikes are definitely going to come, Gino. This Y-D team has walked the least this season, and Harwich has walked the least amount of hitters. So I don't expect a lot of free tickets to be given out from Dressler. Obviously falls behind in that count early, but still time to make it up.
3-1 from Dressler. Swing and a miss, strike 2, right on cue. But you're right, Dressler in his last appearance against Falmouth back on July 21st, went 6 innings, gave up no walks. Gave up 8 hits, 2 earned runs, 8 strikeouts in a 5-2 loss to the Commodores. Payoff pitch. Called strike 3, 94 with the heater, and Dressler with back-to-back Ks in the top of the first.
Never fret when he was down 3-0 in the count. You get the free strike, and then you got to find a way to battle. Doesn't leave anything over the plate, of course, a matchup that doesn't favor him with a left-handed hitter in the box, but he found a way to compete, lived on that outside with a paint, and another beautiful pitch. 2 strikeouts already and 2 batters for Dressler.
Here's the big batter for the Red Sox. It's Chris Akopian from the right side. First pitch, skies it foul. But you can see why Steve Englert and the rest of the coaching staff puts their trust in Dressler, why he's become one of their go-to starters here this summer. Just a rising sophomore. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. We talked about it before. He's going to pound the zone. Doesn't mess around. Dressler in search of 3 straight strikeouts to begin this ball game. Kicks and fires the 0-2. Drilled into dead center. Nico Brini's got a beat. Doesn't have to move much. And he gets underneath it for the 3rd out. Wasn't a strikeout, but I'm sure Dressler will take it nonetheless. 3 up, 3 down, and 2 strikeouts from Troy Dressler to start things off for the Mariners. The defense is looking good. We'll see if the offense can follow suit. We'll be back on Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day.
Time now for the home half of the first after an excellent defensive start for the Mariners. 2 strikeouts from Troy Dressler, as well as a flyout to one of the best bats on the Cape, Chris Akopian. And so the Mariners trying to find out if their offense can be just as productive. You can see the batting order right there on your screen. Tanner Marsh leading things off. Nico Brini on deck. Aiden Robbins in the hole. 4, 5, 6, Maddox Maloney, D. Kennedy, and Jake Coonan. 7, 8, 9, Trey Wells back in the lineup. Him and Matt Conti play every other day as the backstop duo. Sam Harris in the 8th spot, and Sam DiCarlo batting 9th. Tanner Marsh gets set to face off against Ryder Brooks, the rising junior from UC Irvine. 6'3", 200 pounds, lefty on righty. First pitch. High and tight for ball 1. This past year at UC Irvine, Brooks made 20 appearances, had 12 starts, earned a 7-3 record. 5.09 ERA through 69 innings. Here's the 1-0. This one's flared down the right field line. Nick Costello charges over towards it and makes the head-high grab. First out of the frame. That brings us to the defensive lineup for the Red Sox. Starting in the outfield, A.J. Nessler in left, Jace Tarnish at center, and Nick Costello at right. To the infield, Jack Bell at third, Armando Briseño at short, Will Baker at second, and Chris Akopian at first. Catching is Garrett Wright, and as we talked about, Ryder Brooks, the lefty, now stares down Nico Brini, lefty on lefty. First pitch. Just misses high with the heater. Fastball coming in at 93 from Brooks.
And Brini's been one of those electrifying and fun players to watch this season. He hit a little low around the midway point of the season, wasn't finding ways to hit for average, but his defense and his speed have been lethal in helping this Mariner order.
You're right, a high chopper down the first base line, foul, but going off of that point, Dev, at one point, Brini was batting at under a 1.40 average. But his last 15 days, his last 9 games, he's batting a 3.33. Pretty good stuff out of Brini.
And we talked about that in the pregame. Are they getting hot at the right time or have they peaked? And I think that the answer is when you're starting to have these role players who are kind of under the radar throughout the season come up and produce, it's awesome to see. And they're finding ways to really solidify themselves. This 5-game win streak has been awesome to watch. A lot of good baseball and competitive games, but they're finding ways to win, and it's coming from all 9.
It's got to be a group effort. The 2-1. Check swing. Called a strike on the inside. Connor Tierney behind home, making the call. Mickey Garcia over at first. Jeff Marzell at third. There's the umpires for today. Brini trying to stay alive with a 2-2 count. Brooks fires home. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A nice pitch that time from Ryder Brooks. Got Brini reaching, and there's 2 away in the bottom of the first.
Such a good pitch from a left-handed wing when you can find a way to locate that breaking ball, have it look like it's going to come inside, and then throw it off the table away, and Brini goes right over that.
Here's Aiden Robbins. This is someone that yesterday had a little bit of an underwhelming performance, went 0 for 4. But don't let that fool you, as he lines this one down the left field line, and fair ball. Robbins gets the windmill to go past first, and he's into second standing by the time Nessler picks it up in left. Aiden Robbins, his 10th extra base hit this summer, and Dev, he just continues to be one of the top bats, not just for the Mariners, but on the Cape.
Yeah, ye old broadcaster Shinks has a cold game yesterday. You identify that, and then there you go. There's a double. Ask and you shall receive. Beautiful piece of hitting there from Aiden Robbins, a guy who was a blast to watch last year. He was one of those guys that came out of the woodwork and helped Harwich towards their eventual championship run, and he's still doing it. Seeing him hit in the heart of the order and play at the level he is, an all-star this year, of course, has really been fun to watch his development.
Here's Maddox Maloney from the right side. Swing and a miss. But Aiden Robbins, you talked about a returner from last year, part of that championship winning team for the Mariners. And I asked him before the game, what's the difference between last year and this year with two different teams? And he said, to be honest with you, just trying to keep it up and just working as a unit, exactly like what you said, Dev. So Aiden Robbins knows what it takes to will his team as we get out of the dog days of the summer and into the postseason. And he's been catching fire, the Texas transfer. But here's the Oregon Duck up to bat with a 1-1 count, 2 outs, bottom of the first. Here's the 1-1. This is low and outside.
Can't wait for that moment when Maddox Maloney finds it and it clicks right before the postseason, because it's coming. He's been finding ways to get on base still, but the average is down a little bit from the beginning of the year, and once he finds his groove once again, he will be a huge asset.
Just a matter of time as he fouls this one right at the plate. Yesterday went 1 for 5, but did have himself a 2 RBI double. Was a big reason why the Mariners came back in that game after trailing 5-1 to the Whitecaps. Mariners now on a 5-game winning streak. The throw back to second. It gets away from Baker, and that's going to send Robbins to third. Tarnish scoops it up, whips it, and Briseño is there to cut it off. But a mistake that time from Brooks as he just overthrew Baker. And so the throwing error will put Robbins just 90 feet away from tacking on the first run of the day. Maddox Maloney with a 2-2 count and 2 outs. Brooks shrugs off. Now readies the glove at the belt. The 2-2 to Maloney. Popped up into right center. Nick Costello over from right makes the grab for the third out. Mariners leave one stranded. It was Aiden Robbins over at third after his double. With 2 flyouts and a strikeout, we're still knotted up at 0 apiece. But don't go anywhere. We're just getting started here in Harwich. Time now for the top of the second, but before we get there, we'll take a step aside. We'll be back on Cape League TV.
When you need to dig, lift, move, cut, or just about anything else, then dial up the Rental Source staffed with equipment and construction experts. They'll help you get the right machine for the job and make sure it's delivered when and where you need it. With locations across New England and the newest and most reliable inventory, Milton Rents is your local source.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group. Protecting the possible.
Time now for the second. Alongside Devin Dobick, I'm Gino Antmarino. Still scoreless heading into the top of the second inning. It's 4-5-6, 2 up for the Red Sox. The shortstop, Armando Briseño, leading things off. Will Baker, the second baseman, on deck. Jace Tarnish, the center fielder. He's in the hole. Troy Dressler had himself a nice start. through 3 batters face, 2 strikeouts, and a flyout. Looks to continue that pace here. First pitch, swing and a miss. That's the thing we talked about, Dev, is Dressler, one thing's for certain, he's going to pound the strike zone.
100%, but you got to be careful with a hitter like this. Got on base 3 times last game, 2 hits and a walk, scored a run, 324 average. Leaving pitches up in the zone, especially fastballs, this guy can make you pay.
Briseño in just his 11th game as a Red Sox this summer. A 3.24 average, 12 hits with 3 extra base knocks. Certainly a threat. He fouls this one straight back. Rising senior, transferring to Long Beach State from Fullerton. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Lined foul. So Briseño stays alive. Y-D and Harwich. A matchup as old as time, not just because of the 2 managers, with Pickler in his 27th season as the skipper for the Red Sox, as the 0-2 misses low, and Steve Englert, the manager for the Mariners, in his 21st. But this summer, it has been back and forth, not just against each other, but in the standings. The Mariners sitting at first, Y-D at second. 1-2, swing and a miss, he got him. Gets away from Wells, but he throws him out at first. Troy Dressler, his 3rd strikeout, 4 batters faced. He's feeling it out there.
Cooking with oil. That's all you can ask for out of your starter. Going out and attacking this top of the order with no fear at all. I mean, he's getting a lot of whiffs, too. These aren't just like painting strikeouts. We know he had the one looking to arc him own, but he's found ways to beat their best hitters with just perfectly located pitches, power on power, and he's winning the battle right now.
Here's Will Baker trying to change the fortune for his team right now. It's going to be tough with that 91 right on the inside corner. But the Mariners in the standings up 2 points over the Red Sox. They were tied before yesterday. But the Mariners taking down Brewster. The Whitecaps sit 3rd in the East. And the Red Sox falling to the Firebirds yesterday. An 8-5 defeat. It's the 0-2. Lined up the middle, a base hit for the Red Sox, first of the day, and it belongs to Will Baker.
First mistake that Dressler's made, just caught way too much of the plate of that. And when you got a hitter who can come right back at you, who's barreled up balls all season, he's going to do his thing there, takes it right back at him, and that'll be the first hit for the Sox.
Will Baker has played the most games this summer as a Red Sox. They say availability is the best ability, but he'd like to be a little bit more consistent at earning knocks like he did right there. He's operating with a 1.86 average, but he'll certainly take that. It's the first pitch to Tarnish. A ground ball to short. Marsh flips it to second. The throw over to first is not in time. But they got the lead runner in Will Baker. Tarnish reaches off of a fielder's choice.
Looked like Marsh had a little trouble with the transfer there. Couldn't get it out of his glove, and then when he tried to flip it, didn't get much on it. It was a bit of a lollipop, for lack of a better phrase, if you will, and just didn't get there in time, and no throw on to first as a result. But looked like that could have been an inning-ending double play. Let's see if Dressler's able to dig deep and find a way out of the inning now.
Nick Costello from the left side. First pitch. Pulled foul. But the Mariners, they certainly have the defense to pull off those double plays. Tanner Marsh and Sam DiCarlo, middle part of the infield, with Harris on first and Maloney at third. Here's the 0-1. Just misses outside. A little bit of a rainy day here in Harwich, as you can tell from your screen. Some dark clouds over top of us, not really any sunlight. 73 degrees, a little bit of a breeze. 1-1. Down the middle for strike 2.
Yeah, it is overcast, not the warmest night, but not muggy, and that's really all that matters. And then you add it's Bark in the Park night, so when you got all that, that'll 100% lift the mood with the weather trying to bring it down. I think things worked out pretty well in that regard.
Fans bringing their dogs out as the 1-2, a swing and a miss, strike 3. Well, one thing is for certain with Bark in the Park, Troy Dressler right now is a dog. 4 strikeouts already. We're through an inning and a half here in Harwich. We move to the home half right here on Cape League TV.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
At Cape Cod Healthcare, we're committed to excellence and compassion in everything we do, like helping people maintain their active lifestyles. Our innovative orthopedic program combines advanced techniques and leading-edge technology with highly specialized teams, including our nationally recognized Center of Excellence for Joint Replacement. Our focus is getting you back to doing the things you love, in the place you love.
The Center of Excellence and the quality of care that we can deliver makes all the difference to the patients. They understand that they can get the best care right here on Cape Cod.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning. Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Welcome back here to White House Field.
From Kansas State,
Look at that good boy. Bark in the Park here in Harwich.
I'm not sure he got the memo to bark, though. He looks pretty calm right now. He's taking in some good baseball.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's about to watch D. Kennedy up to bat. 5-6-7 due up for the Mariners. The designated hitter gets set from the right side. First pitch. A breaking ball. It's the lower edge for strike 1. Ryder Brooks in his second inning of work, making his first start on the mound this summer. His 6th appearance, he kicks and fires. Spiked at the plate. Not only is it Bark at the Park, but I don't know if they had this last year, Devin, but Steve Englert calls it Soulful Sundays.
Oh, he's had that. How many years? He's probably 21 years.
There you go. The 0-2 misses low.
Yeah, he burned those mixtapes himself. And they're a little scratched now, and sometimes they go out, but it's pretty good. I like the vibe. Soul Sunday is always a good day at the ballpark. Nice and relaxing, leisurely.
Here's the 1-2 to Kennedy. Outside. It was funny because when they were taking BP today, he looked at Tanner Marsh and he said, if you guys can't hit to some Marvin Gaye, you can't hit to anything. Here's the 2-2 to Kennedy. And Marsh was quick with it. And he responded, he said, Coach, I can hit to anything.
You gotta love that mentality.
Yeah, that's a good response. Brooks trying to put away Kennedy here. Payoff pitch. Fouled. Kennedy, a rising junior from Kansas State. Been one of the top bats this summer for the Mariners. 18 RBIs, leads the team. Top 3 on the Cape as well. As the payoff pitch is called strike 3. Kennedy didn't like the call. He gritted his teeth and looked back at Connor Tierney.
The right fielder from Princeton, number 5, Jake.
So Kennedy will head back to the Mariner dugout. And here comes Jake Coonan. Ryder Brooks, in his first start on the mound this summer, has looked pretty solid as Coonan shows bunt, taps it foul. But Brooks up to 2 strikeouts, has given up just 1 hit. That was a double to Aiden Robbins. But other than that, Devin, he's looked pretty solid.
Yeah, he's found a way to just get outs, couple strikeouts. He's gotten the fly balls he's needed out to right. A lot of weak contact thus far. Of course, Aiden Robbins tagged him.
This one is spiked over the mound. Briseño charges, throws to first. It's not in time. It's a tough play there to make for the shortstop for the Red Sox. And Coonan showing off the wheels. He reaches with an infield single.
From Rutgers,
doesn't matter where you hit it, you just got to
Trey
dig it out.
Wells.
I mean, things like that happen all the time. A tough play for the shortstop in Briseño, who is good defensively, but not hit too hard. More of that weak contact I was referring to that the pitcher in Ryder Brooks has gotten, and just a tough play to make.
Trey Wells, the catcher for the Mariners, batting 7th from the right side. First pitch sails away. Bottom of the second, 1 out. Still scoreless between the Mariners and the Red Sox. The battle of 1 and 2 in the East Division. Check back at first. Coonan's back standing. Coonan with 4 stolen bags this summer on 6 attempts. They might try to send him here. Kyle Sylvester, the first base coach. Here's the 1-0. Inside at the knees.
And we've talked a lot about this in-season series, these two teams. Last year, Harwich was in the bottom of the division ranks, but every game between these two was a one-run game. This year, it's been more decided by whoever's the hotter offense, and they've been a bit more of a boat race in these games.
You're absolutely right.
And it's weird to think that when you think about Harwich being the 1 seed and Y-D right behind them as the 2, but last year they were at opposite ends of the division for a while, and it was more competitive baseball. So we'll see. Right now it's 0-0, only the second inning, but we'll see what they have in store for us.
3-0 misses inside, a 4-pitch walk to Wells. That puts runners on first and second for Harwich. But you're right, Devin. The fourth matchup between these two teams this summer, the Mariners a 2-1 record against Y-D, but just taking a look at the last 2 meetings, the Mariners have scored 17 runs, and the Red Sox with just 3. So the Mariners have beaten them by a combined 14 runs the last 2 meetings. Sam Harris gets set from the left side. Runners on first and second. First pitch is outside. Harris back in the lineup after missing the last few games with Kyle Wolf in his spot over at first. A Virginia transfer gets set for the 1-0. Down the middle with the fastball. Harris, someone that when he arrived here in Harwich, reached base in all 8 of his starts, but has since kind of hit a wall. He's got the potential here as he spikes this one up the middle. A base hit that sends Coonan around from third. And Wells dives into third safely. Right on cue, Sam Harris with an RBI single gives the...
I got to tip you the cap. You've mastered the broadcasters. Whenever you're saying there's a lull or something, we've seen base knocks. Aiden Robbins, of course, you referred to, had a tough game yesterday. He laces a double. Then Sam Harris, a guy who's been struggling, a timely situation in the game, 2 runners on, 1 out, unfavorable lefty-on-lefty matchup, and he finds a way to just muscle one into the outfield. And those weakly hit ground balls make it more difficult for the outfielders to find ways to cut down runners, in this instance at home and at third. So a big hit there from Sam Harris, and we'll see if the Mariners can add on to that here with 1 away.
It was such a big hit that Scott Pickler is going to go to the bullpen. A new arm coming out for Y-D. I appreciate the broadcasting jinx getting that recognition from you. But Tyler Pitzer, the new man coming out for Y-D, hopes to have a little bit of a better start to this game after Brooks had a good first inning, but has since given up a pair of hits as well as a walk in this frame. Just 1 out, Mariners up 1-0. We'll take a step aside as Pitzer warms up, but we'll be back on Cape League TV.
Offering 0% for 60 months on Cat's new lineup of compact track loaders. That's 0% for machines that have been redesigned from the ground up. 0% for new features and big comfort.
Nice cab, heated seat, great machine.
0% for more power and performance.
Picked up a big 4,000-pound block like it was nothing.
0% for work tools too. But there's a 0% chance this offer will last. So contact Milton Cat before there's 0 time left. There's a 0 chance that you'll want to miss our 0% for 72 months offer. For a limited time, CAT is offering 0% on the purchase of many new small excavators. That's 0% for better performance, 0% for next generation features.
Great machine. It's quite impressive.
0% for work tools too. But there's a 0% chance this offer will last. So contact Milton Cat before there's 0 time left. One source has it all. The pros' go-to rental choice for the newest and most reliable equipment for any job. One source that has a team you can rely on, the people and a name you trust, with the tools you need. One source with a location near you and wherever the work takes you. Milton Rents, the right equipment when and where you need it.
That's Tyler Pitzer replacing Ryder Brooks, who started on the mound for the Red Sox. Brooks went 1 1/3, gave up 3 hits, an earned run, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. He's responsible for Wells, who's on third, just 90 feet away from tacking on another run for the Mariners. They're up 1-0 in front of the home crowd. Sam Harris reached just moments ago off an RBI single, his second hit in his last 6 games. So big stuff out of the Virginia first baseman. Here's Sam DiCarlo up to bat. 1 out, bottom of the second. 9th hitter for the Mariners as Pitzer kicks and fires. Swing and a miss.
Gino, are you a little surprised to see Brooks get lifted this early? We were talking with Luke Burgess before the game, the Y-D broadcaster, and he was mentioning how Brooks has been one of their positives on the mound. We know they've struggled all season long, but he's been a guy who's found it these last few games, and Pickler gives him an inning and a third, and he's seen enough. What do you think about the move?
I think I'm not that surprised as DiCarlo grounds this to third. They throw home. Wells in a pickle. He pivots to go back. They tag him out to throw to third, and Harris is in there sliding. Some nice base running, as you can see. A thumbs up given to Trey Wells for extending, allowing DiCarlo to reach first and Harris to get to third. So there's 2 outs, bottom of the second.
Just one of those instances as a base runner where you are a deer in the headlights. There's nowhere to go. It's a hard ground ball, really nice pick over at third base by Bell, and I mean, like I said, deer in the headlights. You're going to get caught in a pickle. Credit to Sam Harris for finding his way over to third, but yeah, just a tough victim of the circumstance is Trey Wells there.
The order turns over for the Mariners. It's Tanner Marsh. First pitch misses low and outside. Nice knockdown from right. But going back to the Brooks conversation, I mean, this is someone that's coming into today, 5 appearances, has gone for a total of 5 2/3. So he's not someone that goes for very long. But I also think it has something to do with the last couple of contests. The Mariners have run away with games, and Scott Pickler is trying to nip it in the bud.
Yeah, and you can't blame him, especially when you're playing the top team in the division. You're right behind him. There's still one more matchup between these two teams coming up on July 31st, so you don't want to take any chances. It's still a one-run game. If you can throw in a new arm and get out of this inning with minimal damage, I think that, yeah, that's an optimal result.
1-1. Marsh thought about it. No appeal. 2 balls, 1 strike. Mariners 2-1 against the Red Sox this summer. The last 2 matchups, the Mariners have won by a combined score 17-3. The 2-1 to Marsh. Swing and a miss. Well ahead of that off speed.
And when that off-speed comes dropping in around the eyes, as a hitter, sometimes you just want to be aggressive and find a way to tomahawk it right out into the outfield. But Marsh a little too aggressive, and credit to Pitzer, pulled the string on it, made it a tough pitch to hit, and now he's got to protect.
Runners on the corners. The 2-strike pitch as DiCarlo takes off for second. Marsh drills this one into left. It's down for a hit. That brings in Harris from third, and the Mariners tack on another. It's 2-0, courtesy of an RBI shot from Tanner Marsh.
That's what all-stars do, timely hitting. This is what I talked about in the pregame. The Mariners have had it this season. It took a while for it to come out in last year's group, but Tanner Marsh has been so consistent, hitting for average, finding ways to move runners, and a big piece of hitting that time to double the lead.
Tanner Marsh has been one of the top guys for the Mariners. A 3.16 average, first on the team, but second on the Cape. Alejandro Garza from Orleans has got the best with a 3.19. But Marsh also gets on. 4.16 on base percentage. That's 6th best on the Cape. That's why he's the new #1 hitter for this Mariners order.
Steve Englert's done such a great job, at least in my tenure these last 4 years, of just finding middle infielders who are so versatile. They have speed, they have offense. We think Seaver King, who went 10th in the MLB draft last season, Kalen Culpepper, another first-round pick. He just finds ways to get these middle infielders who can produce, and it's awesome to watch. I mean, it's great baseball. Tanner Marsh has had an unbelievable season, comes out of Liberty, plays with the best of the best, more competition, and he's found a way to produce, even with a change from metal to wood bats.
And it's not just the offense, too, but it's the defense, the capabilities on that front as well. Brini trying to protect with an 0-2. Just outside. Good eye from Brini. Brings up a 1-2 count with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Mariners up 2-0. Home half of the second. Pits are readies. The 1-2. Inside at the shins. Appeal to second. Jeff Marzell said Brini did not go around. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Brini yesterday went 1 for 4. 2 runs and an RBI. The 2-2. Well outside.
And now you got to love the scenario. You know, the carousel's going to get moving, 3-2, 2 outs. So a chance if you're Nico Brini battling all the way back in this count from down 0-2 with the runners in motion. A single could easily make this a 4-0 game.
Aiden Robbins on deck if we get there. Payoff pitch to Brini. Spiked foul. The thing about Brini that makes him so dynamic as a hitter is sometimes he goes up and he swings at a first pitch, right? So he's locked in, he's ready to go, he's aggressive. Other times, he's really patient when it comes to really picking the pitch he wants to swing at. And so both those characteristics make him such a hard out to earn if you're a defense and if you're a pitcher. Here's the 3-2. This one is lined over the second baseman Baker's head and into the outfield. Rounding third is DiCarlo. The Mariners tack on one more. It's 3-0, bottom of the second.
There you go. Ask and you shall receive. Nico Brini, awesome at bat. I mean, he saw 6 pitches in the lower third of the zone. In came a 7th. He was ready for it, low and away. Finds a way to pull it out to right field. It was played well by Costello to minimize the damage, especially with the speedy Marsh coming into third base. But a really nice piece of hitting, and the Mariners starting to find ways to blow it open early.
You can tell Scott Pickler, this is not what he wants out of his team, because the last couple of games, the Mariners scored the first several runs of the day, and Y-D just could never come back. Here's Aiden Robbins from the right side. Runners on the corners, 2 outs, first pitch. It's the bottom edge for strike 1 with the breaking ball. But the fact that the Mariners have done this with 2 outs. So Brini with an RBI single, he stands on first. Marsh also with an RBI single, he's over at third. 0-1 the count to Robbins, who doubled his last time at the plate. Talked to him before the game. He is ready to go. Here's the 0-1. Brini takes off for second. Pitches inside. No throw down from right. And Nico Brini add another stolen base to his stat line this summer, 9 on the year.
Not sure you could ask for a better scenario right now. You already got a 3-0 lead. One of your best hitters, a guy who hits for power and average in the box. He's already got an extra base hit today. Second and third, this is a chance to really put the game on wheels early on.
The 1-1 inside at the waist.
Be interesting to see how Pitzer decides to go at Robbins. Of course, you don't want to ever put a runner on, especially this early in the ball game, but Maddox Maloney's on deck, the cleanup hitter, so it's kind of going to come down to, can he locate his pitches and get Robbins, or else he's going to be tasked with a pretty big task.
2-1 right inside again. But you're right, this is a tough part of the order to work through. But it seems as though Y-D has had a lot of success offensively, but it's the pitching the last couple of weeks that has really hurt this team. The 3-1 labeled into center. Tarnish on the backtrack makes the head-high grab for the third out. The Mariners breaking through in the bottom of the second, plating 3 after RBI singles from Harris, Marsh, and Brini. Harwich up 3-0 over Y-D. We're just getting started. We'll be back on Cape League TV, but before we do, the Harwich Fund is a permanent local endowment funded by supportive residents and businesses. Since 2021, we've delivered over $85,000 in grants helping exclusively Harwich programs benefiting town families, children, and seniors. This year, our Mariner Games business sponsors, Shaw Star Markets, Harry Ellis Builders, and My Generation Energy will pledge $500 to the Harwich Fund for every Mariner homer here at White House Field. We'll be back on Cape League TV.
Treasure.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed.
Time now for the top of the third after the Mariners score the first 3 runs of the day. They're up 3-0. Y-D trying to respond. It's 8-9-1 due up for the Red Sox. Garrett Wright, the catcher, leading things off. Troy Dressler kicks and fires the first pitch. A hard-hit ground ball skips over the head of a lunging Maddox Maloney. Gets into the outfield. A lead-off single for Garrett Wright. The Red Sox, they're not going to go down easy, Devin.
No, they are not. A really nice piece of hitting. Comes out first pitch and just laces one into left field. Really good swing that time. And I think something that often goes overlooked or maybe under the radar is you have that nice offensive inning. You put up 3 runs, you get the 4 hits, but Dressler is getting a little iced in the dugout. I mean, it's a lengthy inning, 20 to 30 minutes, so now he's got to come out and go back to his game. But when you're in a rhythm as a pitcher like he was with 4 strikeouts, it's hard to just wait that long of a time and then come back out on the mound, and he gets, tagged on the first pitch.
That's Devin Dobick. I'm Gino Antsmarino. We welcome you back here on Cape League TV. 1-0 the count to Jack Bell, the third baseman from the left side. Dressler kicks and fires. A swing and a miss. High and tight on Bell. We talked about Dressler. He's had himself a good start today. Already 4 strikeouts. He's given up just 2 hits, with Wright being obviously the second. The 1-1 to Bell. This is high and outside. The Mariners really generating some offense in the bottom of the second. 3 RBI singles from Harris, Marsh, and Brini, all with 2 outs as well. Pretty impressive stuff for Harwich. to get that momentum even when you're just one out away. But that's the fight that this Mariner team plays with. You got to expect the same from the Red Sox. 1-2 in the East Division, the 3-1. This is high for ball 4. So no outs, top of the third. Runners on first and second with Bell after the walk. And right on second. Here comes Hunter Dilworth, the pitching coach for the Mariners, out from the dugout, talking things over with Dressler. And Dev, you might have a point there with saying because that half inning was so long in the bottom of the second, going through 8 batters in the Mariners order, maybe Dressler's just got to get himself back into that rhythm.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better, but he had those 4 strikeouts in the 2 innings. You know he's there, but when you're just in a rhythm like that and then you got to wait a little bit to come on out, it definitely, I'm trying to find the right word to describe it, but it makes you the fatigue sets in a little bit. Your body's getting cold. You're trying to get back out on the mound. Of course, you appreciate the offense. It's easier to pitch with that in mind, in that headspace, that now you have runs backing up your good pitching. But coming out now, you struggle with the control, gives up a quick hit, which might have thrown him off immediately, and then a 5-pitch walk. So we'll see how he's going to attack Nestler as he heads back into the top of the order, and this could be the true test early on for Dressler.
Dressler stares down at his glove. It's the Dressler v. Nestler. First pitch down the middle for strike 1. Got to give a lot of credit to Dilworth and Steve Englert. Seems like anytime there's a mound visit, the pitchers kind of focus up and just right the ship. Here's the 0-1. Just a little bit low. Solid framing that time from Wells. Connor Tierney, home plate umpire, not budging. 1-1 the count, no outs, top of the third. Mariners up 3-0. Runners on first and second. Dressler looks back at right and now fires home. Outside. Nestler struck out his last time at the plate. In his 12th game in a Red Sox uniform this summer. Hits with a 1.67 average so far. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss.
Good pitch that time, but it appears Dressler's living away to these left-handed hitters. We saw Jack Bell take a 5-pitch walk, and of course, most of those pitches were located up and away or just away from the zone, and now he's lived all 4 of these first pitches have been on the outer half of the zone.
The 2-2. This one a soft ground ball to second. DiCarlo throws to second, and Marsh is there to tag out Jack Bell. There's one away. Garrett Wright makes his way over to third with Nestler on first.
From Georgia, number 19,
fielder's choice.
Jack Arcamone.
You also got to give credit to Dressler. I mean, just finished up his freshman year at Wake Forest. Had just 1 appearance. But this summer, Steve Englert has really leaned on him to be one of the top starting pitchers for this Mariner team. He stares down Jack Arcamone, first pitch, a swing and a miss. But Dressler this summer, making his 5th start, a 2.95 ERA heading into today. He's gone 21 1/3 innings. The 0-1. Right at the knees. Dressler going away from his bread and butter, and that's pounding the strike zone. You talked about giving up the walk. Didn't give up a free pass the last time he was on the mound, which was back on July 21st against Falmouth. 1-1. This one is popped up, foul territory, third base side. Maddox Maloney over, and he watches it drop over the fence.
And this is where Dressler's at his best. When he's in a pitcher's count, he's got a few to work with, 1 and 2. If he can get his location down or maybe get the hitter to go fishing a little bit, find a way to make him chase, this is how you get those non-contact outs. And in situations like this, especially with runners on the corners, those are the best kind of outs you need.
Dressler in search of his 5th strikeout today. The 2-strike pitch. called strike 3. A 94-mile-per-hour fastball as Archimone just stared at it the whole way into the zone. 2 away, top of the third. The Mariners just 1 out away from leaving a runner stranded for Y-D. That's just 90 feet away in Garrett Wright. The big-time strikeout there from Dressler. Here's Chris Akopian. First pitch, a strike.
It's got to be so frustrating, not only for Archimone, but for Scott Pickler. He's putting him second in the lineup, and he's gone down looking in both times. This one in a much more timely spot. Of course, no one on in the first inning when he came up to the plate, but Archimone watches another one right at the knees. It was a good pitch.
The 0-1 pops him up behind home. Trey Wells rips the mask off, and there's the third out. Excellent job from Troy Dressler resetting after the mound visit as he comes over and taps his catcher on the back. The Mariners leave Wright stranded on third and are hanging on to a 3-0 lead. Still plenty of baseball left to be played, but it's frames like that give you all the momentum. All right, we'll be back for the home half right here on Cape League TV.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take...
We welcome you back here to Harwich. Nothing screams White House Field and a nice game of wiffle ball going on. Is that a pencil bat?
Mariners, the third baseman from Oregon,
That's
number
some pretty
39,
neat stuff.
Maloney.
Didn't have that when I was younger. These guys look serious. The Mariners up 3-0 right now over the Red Sox. Looking to keep that going is Maddox Maloney leading things off in the bottom of the third. First pitch right at the elbows. He turns away. Tyler Pitzer came in the last frame. First reliever out of the bullpen for Scott Pickler is the 1-0. This is high and tight. Ryder Brooks started on the mound, went 1 1/3, gave up 3 hits, 3 earned runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Pitzer kicks and fires the 0-2.
A little bit of light rain starting to fall. It's not too much, shouldn't affect the game too much. We expect it to pass, but you know, when the grass is a little wet or things, anything can happen in baseball. It starts to make the game a little different.
The 3-0. This is outside, a 4-pitch walk to Maloney. You can hear the Mariner dugout yelling out. That's Aiden Robbins clapping his hands, getting his team fired up.
From Kansas State, number 11.
So a leadoff walk to start things. The bottom of the third. And you know what they say, Devin? Leadoff walk never helps the defense.
No, it never does, especially because now he's got to worry about him. Maloney, not necessarily a threat to steal, but he's still on base. You got D. Kennedy coming up. He's been one of the best hitters, especially in timely situations. You mentioned the RBIs, 18 of them, among the top of the league ranks. So not the guy you want to put a runner on ahead of.
D. Kennedy struck out his last time at the plate, but always a threat. As he taps home with his bat, gets set for the 0-1. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Scott Pickler and his bullpen and his pitching really trying to bolster it up as we head closer to the postseason. The last 15 days, so last 10 games, as the 0-2 comes home to Kennedy, misses outside. So in the last 10 games for Y-D, the Red Sox have the second highest ERA on the Cape, a 5.38. Easily one of their biggest weaknesses, but still a team that's second in the standings as the 1-2 fans them. A breaking ball that
the right fielder
gets
from
Kennedy
Princeton,
to swing out of his cleats.
Coonan.
Second time he's been retired today off the strikeout, and the first strikeout of the day for Pitzer. There's one away in the bottom of the third.
And you mentioned the struggles with the Y-D pitching staff, and that's really what's keeping them from being a good team to a great team. They put a lot of runners on. They have the worst on-base percentage against, which is a .323. They walk the most hitters in the league, 107 and counting. So with all those numbers in mind, giving up free tickets to first base and having a lot of runners on, it makes the pitchers' lives a lot harder. They got to find a way to dig deep and find some arms who can give them good outings.
Jake Coonan fouls this one straight back. He was the Mariner bat that really kick-started the offense back in the second. Recorded the second hit of the day, but he eventually scored the first run after RBI singles from Harris, DeCarlo, and Marsh. It was a check swing to Coonan. Field down to first. Mickey Garcia says he went around. So Coonan heads back to the dugout.
And it looked like he knew it, too. Despite the appeal, Coonan already had his back turned and was headed back to the dugout. And those are just the most frustrating things as a hitter when you know that you just had to hold it up a little more to extend the at-bat. And now that leadoff walk has turned into 2 outs and nothing else has happened. 2 non-contact outs. Credit to Pitzer.
Here's Sway Wells from the right side. First pitch a strike. But the Mariners made magic happen with 2 outs in the last frame. Scored 3 with 2 outs. So Trey Wells trying to light a spark here with Maloney on first. The 0-1 is golfed foul. Trey Wells, a.k.a. Gronk, as Steve Englert calls him because of his 6'5", 200-plus pound frame. Tries to stay alive here. The 0-2 does just that, fouls it. Wells reached off of a walk last time out.
I'm surprised he went to Gronk because we've had a handful of guys with similar builds come on in there. Brock Wilken is the first one that comes into mind. League MVPs in the Brewers organization now, was a first-round pick a couple years ago.
The 0-2, this one is yanked down the right field line and down. And that sends Maloney all the way to third. So right on cue, the Mariner offensive magic with 2 outs continues, courtesy of Trey Wells.
Pitch up and away, and he just found a way to go with it. Sat back on it, drove it out to right field. Really nice piece of hitting. Would have been nice if it found a gap and you could earn another run out of it, but nonetheless, extends the inning to Sam Harris, a guy, favorable matchup, lefty on righty. Here you go. Here's the opportunity.
That's one of the reasons why they call Wells Gronk, because he's got that strength. He can drive that ball across his body, opposite way. Here's Sam Harris. RBI single last time he was at the plate. A great start for the Virginia transfer. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. Mariners looking to tack on some more runs, up 3-0. First pitch to the lefty. Ground ball to second. Baker waits and throws him out at first. 2 strikeouts for Tyler Pitzer in that frame. Thought the Mariners might make some more magic happen with 2 outs, but they'll take a 3-0 lead for now. We head to the 4th right here on Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
4. We will get to the rest of the numbers in the next half inning.
And we welcome you back to the middle third of the ball game. Devin Dobeck, Gino Antamarino along with you. The Y-D Red Sox bringing up 4, 5, 6 themselves. Briseño will get things kicked off. He struck out back in the second inning. Troy Dressler heads out for his 4th inning of work. And Gino, he's really found ways to get outs and keep this lead intact.
Yeah, you got to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff. I mean, Hunter Dilworth, when he comes out to the mound, he means business. It usually entails the pitcher kind of righting the ship and delivering strikes.
First pitch to him, checked his swing. They appeal to Garcia. He says yes, he did, and it's 0-1.
Right on cue.
Right on cue. Rung up Jake Coonan last inning. 2 appeals and 2 rings from Mickey Garcia, the 0-1. That one runs in, it got him. So says Connor Tierney, the home plate umpire, and so an early base runner once again to start off the 4th inning for Troy Dressler.
The second baseman from Georgia Tech.
And you know that this
number 2,
Y-D team
Will
is going to come
Baker.
at you, right? They're not going to just lay over, especially since the last 2 meetings have been pretty much domination by the Mariners. So you best believe Scott Pickler is going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at Steve Englert and company. The Mariners defense got to be ready to go, especially since they're up 3-0.
Digging in on the left-hand side is Baker, the second baseman for the Red Sox. Dressler comes set in the set, and the first pitch. This one's laced out to center field. Going back a few paces is Brini in front of the warning track, and he makes the grab. A loud out number 1 here, as retreating back to first base goes Briseño. And that'll get Jace Tarnish going.
A loud out, but you'll certainly take it. Put one away, and
the center fielder
kind of extinguish
from
this
Kentucky,
fire
number 25,
for Y-D that
Jace
can
Tarnish.
kind of take over at any second, you can say.
Tarnish 0 for 1 today. He reached on a fielder's choice at the expense of Will Baker. Digs in on the right-hand side. Righty-on-righty matchup. Dressler surveys and comes home. Misses downstairs in the dirt, 1-0. 2 hits for the Red Sox thus far through 3+ innings. Dressler got in a bit of a jam last inning after a couple base runners reached, but found a way to dig his way out. Keep this a scoreless frame for the Red Sox as another pitch comes in and misses down low. Similar spot to the last one, and it's quickly 2-0.
If you saw just moments ago, Trey Wells pump faking back to first. He's someone that is not afraid to showcase that arm, Dev, and for good reason. He's got some power.
2-0 offering. This one swatted off foul back over behind home plate, and it's 2-1. 95 on that fastball from Dressler. That's the highest we've seen that climb. Costello on deck. One of the 5 strikeout victims for Troy Dressler. Trying to work his way back and even up the count. Here comes the 2-1. Instead of check over at first base. Harris doesn't bother to apply the tag, as back in there easily is Briseño. Tarnish, the center fielder for the Sox. Looking to find some offense for Y-D, who's had virtually none today. This one's flied out into shallow territory, just past first base. Harris on his horse, won't get there. as it hits the ground right in front of the Red Sox bullpen. And the count's evened up at 2. Everybody retreats back to their stations as we get ready for a 2-2 pitch. Dressler has worked his way back after falling behind early in the count at 2-0. Tarnish in the transfer portal after a season at St. Bonaventure, which put together a pretty good resume for him to move up. As he swings and misses that time, Dressler grinning from ear to ear at the result. Beautiful pitch, might not have located it best, but got the hitter to chase. And there's 2 away.
From UC San Diego,
nice pitch from Dressler.
40, Nick
6 strikeouts for him on the day. Talked about before the game started, he's going to pound the strike zone. Had 8 strikeouts his last appearance. He's looking good so far.
Costello digs in from the left side. Dressler out of the stretch once more, takes a look at the runner and comes home. This one's chopped foul off to the right over towards the Y-D on deck circle, and it's 0-1. Costello, a late arrival for the Red Sox, playing in just his 9th game this season. Hitting just 111, has tried to get it going. Scott Pickler plugs him into the bottom third of the lineup today and trying to extend this inning here with 2 outs. Dressler nods, and the pitch. Cut on a miss. Beautiful off-speed pitch at 82 miles per hour. Pulled it off the table, started it in the middle, dropped it to the bottom. And Dressler 1 pitch away from getting out of his 4th inning of work here. Small lead off of first base for Briseño. Not necessarily a threat to steal as the 0-2. Spiked in the dirt, picked up. The throw down from Wells is in time. Tanner Marsh is there, and that concludes the inning. A makeshift 1-2-3 inning for Troy Dressler. He's through 4. The Mariners lead at 3-0. We'll be back in a flash right here on the Harwich Mariners Network.
When you need to dig, lift, move, cut, or just about anything else, then dial up the Rental Source staffed with equipment and construction experts. They'll help you get the right machine for the job and make sure it's delivered when and where you need it. With locations across New England and the newest and most reliable inventory, Milton Rents is your local source.
You can make any bat feel